Even on the day, on the way to the red carpet, we're in the limo, just to wind her up, I said, oh, I'm going to start off with a funny little one-liner, just an old-fashioned joke. She went, oh, what? I said, what did the deaf, dumb and blind orphan get for Christmas? And Jane went, I don't know. I said, cancer.
Socrates said that fame is the perfume of heroic deeds. Fame is the perfume of heroic deeds. Well, it probably was back then. There was no Heat magazine and Big Brother. You actually had to do something to become famous. You were a great scholar or a leader of men. And all the way through history, that was the case. 500 years ago, the most famous man on the planet was Leonardo da Vinci because of all the great things he did. He was a painter. He was an inventor. Oh, go on, mate. Sorry. I can't do one-on-one. It's a big place. In a much smaller room, I'd still ignore you, cunt. Shush.
I fell back in love with stand-up on my last tour, Humanity. I played arenas around the world. Netflix bought it for a record amount. It was the most watched special of the year. I thought, everyone loves me now. Everyone loves me now. Then I got this tweet. Real tweet. Call yourself a comedian? He knows I do. Literally says the word in my Twitter bio. Call yourself a comedian? You're about as funny as... Now, I thought he was going to go for the jugular and say Miranda, or... Come on. Come on, guys. Don't... I'm joking. Right. Call yourself a comedian? You're about as funny as a fart at a baby's funeral. He was trying to hurt my feelings. But his big mistake was choosing something that would be fucking hilarious. As if that would... A fart at a baby's funeral. Big echoey church. Everyone just silently sobbing like that. Tiny little coffin. Tiny little coffin. And someone farts, you'd laugh. Even if it was your baby. You know, no. If you're at the funeral, it's been dead a week, do you know what I mean? You're probably up for a giggle. Particularly if you're the father. If you're the mother, you probably still find it hard seeing the funny side of things. But I'm a considered comedian. I like my jokes to be accurate and my targets to be fair. So I was engaging these people. I was saying, why is it transphobic? And they were saying, it's about a trans person. I said, well, that's ridiculous. That's like saying a joke about Bill Cosby is automatically racist. It depends on the joke. But I was talking to them, I'm willing to learn, and I found out my crime was that I dead-named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, you know, before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name, and even acknowledging that she used to be a man. But she did. I saw him on the Olympic Games. It was decathlete. It was in everything. He was all over the place. Shot put and pole vault. He won a medal. He was famous. He was on telly all the time. But, you know, a big, famous man with a huge... I don't know, but I mean, I'm guessing he probably... He's a big... But I've learned my lesson. Now, I'd never dead name her now. Now I know it's wrong. I'd never dead name her now. But, like, years ago... when, you know, she was a man. That was years ago, I'm saying, right? And she went to the doctor, right? And knocked on the door, and the doctor went, come in. This is years ago. I was saying, I'd never dead name her now, but this is like a flashback before anyone... Do you know what So, like, come in. And he went, hello, Bruce Jenner, because that was his name then. The doctor, you know, this was years ago, and the doctor went... Oh, I'm Bruce Jenner, you big old... How you doing, boy, you fucker? How you doing? You big old lunt. Oh, how you doing, boy? Come here, you fucker. How you doing, Brucey boy? You all right? Right? And Bruce Jenner, because that was his name, this is years ago, right? So Bruce Jenner went, yeah, not too bad, doctor, yeah. Not too bad, right? And so, what can I do for you, Bruce? You fucker. How you doing, boy? And Bruce Jenner went, because that was his name. Bruce Jenner went, look at that. And they went, oh, come on, Bruce Jenner, you know the rules. He uses his whole name every time for some reason. I don't know why. Come on, Bruce Jenner, you fucker. You know the rules. You can't bring your big old pole vaulting pole in here, mate, you know. And Bruce Jenner went, no, that's not my pole vaulting pole, that's my enormous penis. And I thought, oh, right, yeah, seeing as it is your penis, you can bring it in here. But you should have left your shot puts outside. And Bruce Jenner went, that was his name for 58 years, I think. He went, no, they're not my shot puts, they're my enormous testicles. That's where I get my testosterone and my spunk and shit, right? And the doctor went, oh, yeah, that makes perfect. I am a medical man, and that you're a big bloke. Oh, you fucker. How you doing, boy? You're a big... You're big, and you would have a big old cock and balls. They're beautiful. They're a bit familiar, isn't it? And I go, no, but you must be very proud of them, Bruce. Bruce Jenner went, oh, this is going to surprise you, doctor. I want to get rid of them. And the doctor went, what? Why? Ah, they get in the way. Get in the way of what? Fucking driving, for one thing.
I went to school with this guy, right? He was a div kid. No, he was. I talk about him on my other two stand-up shows. His name was David Beasley. He's the one that said, if you get captured by cannibals, when they're cooking you in the pot, they show you pornographic pictures so you get an erection and there's more meat to go round. Oh. But he told me a very funny story as well. There was a scandal in this sort of neighbourhood. A guy a few doors away from him that was older than him, an older boy, had got done for lewd behaviour. He was cottaging. He was a gay guy. And he'd gone down to this public toilet in Cemetery Junction, which is an area of Reading. And he'd gone into this cubicle, got the hole there, and he was waiting. People were coming in and out. He waited for ages, and eventually someone came in, heard the rustling. Cock comes through. Oh! He grabbed it. They can't get away then. I guess. I've never tried it. I don't. He sucked him off. What do you think he was going to do? Play London's Burning? Of course. This dental floss is big. Of course he's going to... So, he got him. He sucked him off. And when they both went outside, it was his dad. Oh. All the Colgate in the world would never get rid of that, would it? Oh. I don't know if you're affected by the volcanic ash cloud, but I had friends that were stuck all over the world, and they missed weddings and funerals, and they had to put themselves up in a hotel for extra days that they hadn't budgeted for, and they couldn't get their money back because the airlines were saying, no, we can't pay you because the insurance companies won't pay us because they're saying it's an act of God. Well, what isn't an act of God? No, if you believe in God, that's sort of a definition of him, isn't it? That he does everything. Isn't that right? Everything is an act of him. He's all-powerful. He's everywhere at once. He invented everything. There was nothing before him. He invented time, everything. He's across it all, okay? He doesn't miss a trick, and he's not absent-minded. A volcano going off isn't like him going, fuck, I left the oven on. You know, it's... And who are these insurance companies that can decide what is and isn't an act of God? How do they know, okay? Have they got a hotline to God? They call him up, do they? Ring, 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 ring. Hello? Could I speak to God, please? Speaking. Oh, I didn't think you'd answer the phone yourself. What do you want? Oh, that volcanic ash cloud. Was that you? Yeah. Yes, that was an act of me, all right. So I shouldn't pay out. No, don't fucking pay him a penny, son. No. Brilliant, brilliant. While I've got you here, did you make a tree fall on Steve Baxter's car? There's a lot of Steve Baxters. Steve Baxter, 2 Acacia Road, Hounslow. It happened at 2:15 on the 3rd of June this year. 2:15, 3rd of June. No, that wasn't me. I was in Africa that day giving AIDS to babies.
He does everything. He does everything.
Now, you're not to know this, but I am usually in my pyjamas by 6 p.m. I come home from work, the telly goes on, the pyjamas go on. Even if there's company, it's, you know what I mean, my house, my rules, pyjamas on. And if we've got, you know, relatives round, Jane says, oh, not the ones with the holes in, that's all she asks. Do you know what I mean? You don't need your mother-in-law, when you bend over, it's like the last chicken in the window going, he's got a tumour. You know what I mean? It's just, no. But you don't want to throw them away. The pyjamas, they get nicer with age. They get soft, don't they? And they fit you just right. No one's going to see them. I actually invented a game with an old pair of pyjamas with a hole in them. No, you know when it gets sort of really thin and the gusset, then suddenly a little hole appears. You get like a quarter of an inch sort of hole. And when blokes are watching telly, we sort of doodle. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why. It's sort of like a comfort thing. I think it's anthropological. I think chimps do it. Not on me, on them. I don't. No good to me, they haven't got opposable thumbs or anything, so... I've never tried to get a chimp to wank me off, so let's nip that one in the bud. And I discovered, right, that if I pulled out miscellaneous bits of skin, right... No, could be a bit of scrotal sac, could be a hint of foreskin. You only put it out half an inch, you've got to guess which... It's called offal Jim Jam. No. And you just pull it out, just half an inch, right? And you turn to your girlfriend and you go, offal Jim Jam, cock or ball? It might be genius.
There's no reincarnation, no ghost, no heaven, I believe. People can't get over that. People quiz me on Twitter when they find out I'm an atheist. They go, well, you don't believe in God at all? I go, no. Do you pray? I go, no. They go, why don't you pray just in case there's a God? And I say, why do you put garlic over your door just in case there's a Dracula? Right? And I've got no problem with praying, you know. I know loads of nice Christians and Muslims and Jews, and if one of my family is very ill, they always say, oh, I'll pray for them. And I always say, oh, thanks very much, because it's a nice gesture. If they said, oh, we also cancelled the chemotherapy, I go, don't do that, don't do that. Pray, fill your boots, son, but Let's do the praying and the chemotherapy, shall we? Because that's the same result as just the chemotherapy. So let's definitely keep that one, shall we? I got in trouble talking about praying on Twitter once. Do you remember a few years ago, that terrible disaster in Oklahoma, the hurricane? People lost their lives and their livelihood, and I donated to the Red Cross, and I tweeted about it with a link saying, you can donate here too, trying to help them with their drive. And one of those sort of frivolous entertainment magazines from America, their account tweeted this thing. It really annoyed me. They tweeted, Beyonce and Rihanna send prayers to Oklahoma. And I tweeted back going, oh, I feel like a cunt, I only sent money. Someone tweeted me once, would you come to the bedside of a dying child and tell them there's no heaven? I tweeted back, is it a paid gig? I prefer dogs, obviously. Dogs are better people than people, aren't they? They're amazing dogs. They're our best friends, they guard us, they guide us. There's medical detection dogs that can smell if you've got, like, AIDS. I'm not a doctor, but their noses are like 1,000 times more sensitive than ours, so they sort of go, "Poor, you're well HIV." Fuck, you know. And you go, "You can smell AIDS on someone." Yeah. Then why didn't you smell it on the bloke I brought home last night? Then you fucking idiot. They did the first 3 billion years by themselves, evolution and all that. And then we got involved and we did a bit of selective breeding, you know, getting them how we wanted them to do jobs for us, you know, a bit more of that, a bit stronger, faster, whatever. And they're great at the jobs they're bred to do, and they love the job they're bred to do because they're genetically hardwired to love that behaviour anyway. Although the Rhodesian Ridgeback was bred to hunt lions, and I can't help but think that was a little bit of a shock to it when it found out. So we've done all the breeding, all the different pedigrees, all the miles around, a big passing out parade. There's a bloke in a square with a white coat and a clipboard, and he goes, right, dogs. And they all go, what? Who wants to know what jobs they've got? We all do. Right. Okay, Labradors. Yeah? Do you like carefully bringing back dead ducks? Yeah. That's your job. Amazing. That is amazing. That is my favourite job. That is my favourite job. Jack Russell's. Yeah. Do you like shooting down rabbit holes after... Yeah. That's your job. Fucking hell. Best day ever. Best day ever. Miniature poodles. Yeah. Do you like being carried around by elderly homosexuals? Yeah. That's your job. That's your job. Ridgebacks. Yo. You're hunting lions. What? You're hunting lions. Fuck off. Yeah, you are. No, we're not. Lions? We get fucking mashed. Why can't the Rottweilers hunt lions? They're shaking babies. Good boy. Good boy. You shake that baby if you want. Good boy. Cheers.
Quite political. Growing up, that 15, 16-year-old becoming aware, and, well, you did it to annoy your parents, obviously, but I think we're inundated with politics from an early age. I think everything is charged with politics and morality and the way to live. It's in everything, fables, nursery rhymes, little sayings. I remember I must have been as young as 6 when we used to have an assembly at school, in infant school. We'd all come in every Monday and sit down on the floor, cross-legged, and our deputy headmaster used to come and tell us a story. And it always had a moral that we were meant to think about, and this would make us into leaders of men, character building. And he used to take ages over it, and he loved it. It was his best day, you know. And I remember he told us about the 2 mice, the lazy mouse and the industrious mouse. And it was summer, and these 2 little mice were out in the woods. The sun was out, the streams were babbling, there was flowers, there were berries, there were nuts, there was, and Lazy Mouse, he'd just be running around in the sun, having a bite from a berry, throwing the rest away. There was loads, it was never going to run out. Industrious Mouse, he'd have a berry, sure, but he'd eat it all, and he'd put one away for a colder season. He knew. Lazy Mouse, he'd be fucking running about, sunbathing, eating, chewing, throwing the rest away. Industrious Mouse went, oh, be careful, Lazy Mouse, because come winter, oh, fuck off, you square. The fall comes, same sort of pattern. The last of the berries, he's chewing there, throwing the rest away, he's just like chilling out, he's kicking through the leaves. You can't see him, if you saw the leaves moving, he'd be under the leaves, basically. You'd go, what's that? It's Lazy Mouse underneath the... If you could go under there, like the Discovery Channel, you'd see Lazy Mouse going, fuck it. Industrious Mouse, he'd be freeze-drying loads of berries, he'd be chopping wood, and he made an axe to chop the wood out of a little twig and a sliver of flint, which he tied on with a horsehair, thus enabling him to chop and stockpile fuel. So, winter comes, different pattern. The ground's hard, there's nothing, there's no fruit, there's no berries, there's no nuts, there's nothing at all on the trees. And he can't find anything, and he's starving, and he's freezing, and he's losing his body weight. And of course, Industrious Mouse, now he's in his cottage that he built somehow. Roaring log fire, just sitting there, rocking, on a pebble. Knock at the door. Who's that?
Obvious, isn't it? So he goes over to the door. He opens the door. It's Lazy Mouse. And he goes, what do you want? He goes, I'm cold and I'm hungry. I can't find any food and I think I'm going to die. And he goes, well, I did warn you, didn't I? He goes, yeah. He goes, never mind. Come in here and share with me. Where's the moral there? Fuck around, do what you want, and then scrounge off a do-gooder. That's a terrible moral for children, isn't it? Awful. He told us the one about the boy who cried wolf. Have you heard that? Well, I'm going to tell you again. Boy, in the Bible, I don't know, he's... I haven't got a specific year, have I? Right? Boy, looking after the sheep for the villagers, that's his job. Look after those sheep, boy. You go, all right, yeah. But he gets a bit bored. Probably gets a bit sleepy if he's counting them. Right? And he thinks, oh, I'll have a laugh here. He goes, wolf, wolf. And the villagers come up and they go, where's the wolf? He goes, there's no wolf. They go, oh, you go. So next day, he gets bored again. He thinks, that worked a treat. He's got very little imagination. He goes, I'll do that again. Okay? So he goes, wolf, wolf. Where's the wolf? There's no wolf. Oh, you can't. So the next day, he's sitting there. There really is a wolf. And the wolf comes up and he goes, wolf, 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 wolf. But the villagers don't come. And the wolf eats all the sheep. And we were told the moral of that is never tell a lie. No, it isn't. The moral of that is never tell the same lie twice. Again, a terrible moral for children. Nursery rhymes. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, which I later learned meant his cranium. I thought his hat fell off. And Jill came tumbling after. And that's a true fable of 16th century lovers who used to go up to the well behind the prying eyes of the villagers and their spouses and have it away. And what's the moral there, though? Don't fuck around with sluts or you get your head caved in. How is that applicable to 5-year-olds? I have never worked out the moral to Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. All I can think is, don't sit on a wall if you're an egg. But again, how is that applicable to a 5-year-old human? I mean, you tell that to a group of 5, oh, so don't sit on a wall if you're an egg. Oh, well, what do you mean if I'm an egg? I'm not an egg. It doesn't make sense. If I'm none of us are eggs. If there was an egg there, it wouldn't make sense. Because you go to the egg, don't sit on a wall. You go, I'm an egg, I can't eat, I've got nothing. I've got no ears, no eyes, I don't know what the fuck. What? Don't sit on a wall. I can't fucking hear, I've got nothing. I'm in nothingness. I can't fucking climb walls for a start, so... Don't send horses to perform medical procedures. Of course they couldn't put him together again. They've got no dexterity whatsoever. They can't sew to save their lives. They've got no thumbs, let alone opposable thumbs. Don't send a horse. It's delicate. An egg? We've got a cracked egg. Should we send a horse? Definitely not. Have you got a doctor or someone who works for Fabergé? Don't. We've got like a half-a-ton creature with no fingers. Don't send that. Got a four-legged thing with like that. No chance. They couldn't put on gloves. They couldn't scrub up. They can't.
Imagine, there's an egg, delicate egg. Horse comes over, fucked. It couldn't, they wouldn't even think of fucked. That's it. They wouldn't even see it. They'd go, egg there, what? Fucked, that's it. Wouldn't even, you couldn't explain it to it. Don't send, it's ridiculous. If I had to design the perfect egg crushing device, it would be a hoof. I need this, as a cracked egg, I need it crushing completely. Hoof. The hoof's great. Don't send doesn't matter whether they're the king's horses or not. Certainly don't send all of them. That's gonna be chaos. If there was one horse with a little bit of nous, he did like 1 year before he got kicked out of Harvard. He could I'd know the rudimentaries. They're all fuck it off, for fuck's sake. No lads, don't, they're fucking all over it. Fucked. It's definitely fucked now. One of the first big charities I got involved with was the Terence Higgins Trust, the big AIDS charity, and it was mid to late 80s, and people were like, what's this new thing called AIDS? What is... I mean, it's gone from strength to strength now. It's doing brilliantly. It's gone global. So got its own day and everything. 1st of December, World AIDS Day. I don't think it'll ever pick up like Christmas. We don't do anything in our house. There's no decorations. But I discovered something. You're still learning. The first HIV virus was a combination of 2 separate viruses that combined in rhesus monkeys, and it made this rudimentary form of AIDS. And it was fatal to them, but this was passed to chimpanzees. Sometimes chimps will get a bloodlust and eat a rhesus monkey, and it evolved and mutated in chimps. And because we're 98.6% genetically identical to a chimpanzee, it was able to be passed to humans. And the first human contracted AIDS when he was chopping up chimp meat and cut his finger, although that's the excuse I'd have given. You'd have to come up with something, wouldn't you? You go to the doctor and you go, oh, I feel terrible, doc. Doctor goes, oh, I'm not surprised. You go, is it ME? Worse than ME. You wish you had ME. You shouldn't be laughing about it. He's got terrible news. No, terrible doctor. You're the first human to contract AIDS. Is that bad? Can be. Still laughing. You shouldn't... How would I have got that? 2 ways. 1, you were fucking a chimp up the arse. Fucking a chimp up the arse. Me? No way. How else could I have got it? Oh, I don't know, you could have been chopping a chimp up, cut your finger, that one. Choppy, chimpy finger, one. I bet he went straight out to the jungle and found that chimp and went, you gave me AIDS. Oh, what? You gave me AIDS. I gave you a blowjob. Shush. No, I got AIDS from you. Well, where did I get AIDS from? From eating monkeys. I don't eat monkeys. You're either eating them or fucking them. I was eating them. But psychology, psychiatry, neuroscience, it's still in its infancy. And we still know so little about the brain. And 150 years ago, we knew nothing. It was all guesswork, right? And everything was just mental. If you weren't a white, sort of heterosexual, married Christian man, right? If you deviated too far from that, you were mental. They just went mental, like that. Like homosexuality, mental illness, you were put in an asylum for life, or worse, tortured. Women who fell pregnant out of wedlock, mental, asylum for life, right? And now we understand things more, we're more tolerant, I think it's going too far the other way, though, because now nothing's mental. You can't find somewhere that nothing is considered mental.
Yo, let's talk about a real issue at hand. Trash piling up, it's time to take a stand. From plastic bottles to styrofoam cups, our planet's drowning, it's time to wake up. Garbage trucks roll, streets lined with waste, but where does it go? It's not a race to the landfill, a mountain of despair. But we can change course, show that we care. Trash talk, it's more than just words. It's about actions, the change we deserve. Reduce, reuse, recycle. That's the plan for a cleaner, greener earth. Let's take a stand. Trash talk, it's more than just words. It's about actions, the change we deserve. Reduce, reuse, recycle. That's the plan for a cleaner, greener earth. Let's take a stand. Single-use plastics, they gotta go. From straws to bags, it's time to say no. Bring your own cup, your own tote bag. Small steps add up, let's not lag. Sorting all waste is not that tough. Recycling centers, that's where it's rough. Separate paper, glass and cans. Give them a new life, that's the plan. Trash talk, it's more than just words. It's about actions, the change we deserve. Reduce, reuse, recycle. That's the plan for a cleaner, greener earth. Let's take a stand. But it's not just about the stuff we toss. It's about the mindset, there's no loss. Composting food waste, it's a win. Turning scraps to soil, let's begin. Educate the masses, from young to old. The future's at stake, let the story unfold. For the sake of our planet, our home sweet home. Let's clean up our acts, together we roam. Trash talk, it's more than just words. It's about actions, the change we deserve. Reduce, reuse, recycle. That's the plan for a cleaner, greener earth. Let's take a stand.
Everything is a syndrome or an addiction or a preference, right? I could have my legs removed, have wheels put on, identify as a pram, right? And if you say I'm mental, you're a bigot, right? Now, that's a bit hack, that joke now, isn't it? Oh, identify as a thing then, right? It's a bit old-fashioned, right? But I'm going to leave it in to annoy people, right? Because that's the bit that'll offend people. Same as humanity. I talk about AIDS, famine, cancer, the Holocaust, rape, paedophilia. But no, the one thing you mustn't joke about is identity politics. The one thing you should never joke about is the trans issue, right? They just want to be treated equally. I agree. That's why I include them. You know? But they know I'm joking about all the other stuff, but they go, no, he must mean that, right? Like a joke is a window to the comedian's true soul. That's just not the case. I'll take on any view to make the joke funniest. I'll pretend to be right-wing. I'll pretend to be left-wing. I'll pretend to be clever. I'll pretend to be stupid. Whatever makes the joke funnier without prejudice. Okay, full disclosure, in real life, of course I support trans rights. I support all human rights, and trans rights are human rights, you know? Live your best life. Use your preferred pronouns. Be the gender that you feel that you are. But meet me halfway, ladies. Lose the cock. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
When I first moved in with my girlfriend, 20-odd years ago, our first flat together, it was a horrible place. It was in King's Cross, and it was a horrible area, King's Cross, a seedy road, seedy block, horrible little thing. It was a rip-off, but it's all we could afford. It was one room, just one room, but it had like a little kitchenette area. So what we decided to do, we moved the single bed sort of into there, so we had a lounge. It was like a one-bedroom flat. So at night, we're in a space this big. The bed literally just fit in. I had to scrape it down the wall to get it in, and it came over the doorway a bit, and in bed, I could open the fridge. The fridge was there, the cooker was there, and the sink was there, okay? No toilet. The toilet was a shared toilet with all the other flats in the block, and it was 2 floors down. So what wins in the middle of the night when I need a wee? Do you know what I mean? Putting on trousers and going outside, or just pop into the sink? That one. And I remember, 20-odd years ago, Jane in a sleepy state saying, "Oh, at least take the dishes out first." I didn't. I used to get hold of the bottom plate and lift them all up and wee straight down the plug hole.
Have you seen all the ghost hunter shows? Years and years, celebrity ghost hunter, all around the world, thousands and thousands of hours of footage. They've never seen a fucking ghost. It's all like, oh, what was that? Was it that I was just the... No, not the... What did you hear that? Was it just that? Was it you? Oh, no. Imagine if wildlife programmes were like that. Imagine watching David Attenborough all these years, and everybody goes, here, on Kilimanjaro, we see the... Oh, that's not... And by the banks of the Limpopo, the elusive... Oh, that's not... You'd stop watching the... The pedo hunter shows, on the other hand, there's usually a couple in the crew just in case. You know what I mean? Particularly if it's a BBC production. Oh, shut up.